Welcome to my next Big Bang Theory Season 12 episode review video. Before I get into that though, pretty important, if you aren't caught up to the point where I am, anywhere you're watching the Big Bang Theory, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, if you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this detailed review any further to avoid any potential spoilers. This will be the Big Bang Theory Season 12, Episode 23, the penultimate episode, the episode before the series finale. The title of this episode is called The Change Constant, and this will be my review reaction recap after just finishing watching the episode. So we start with a lot of flashbacks of many past episodes, and then early in the morning, Leonard, Penny, and Amy are falling asleep while Sheldon sings about the half-life of radium, waiting to hear if they had won the Nobel Prize. Penny and Amy jump to make coffee. Sheldon doesn't need any since the anticipation is enough drug for his brain to produce endorphins. Amy corrects him that it is dopamines, but she realized that he's been up all night. Then Sheldon falls asleep. Leonard gets excited because Sheldon had told them to slap him if he did fall asleep. Leonard feels that he's paid enough dues with Sheldon to get the honor. Before he has a chance, though, the phone wakes Sheldon up. It's only Barry Kripke, tricking them into thinking he is the Nobel Committee. The phone rings again, but it's only Howard and Bernadette checking in on them. Sheldon suggests that they play a number guessing game when Amy's phone rings. She quietly answers it, thanks them, and then quietly tells everyone that they won. Penny and Leonard get excited. Amy asks if Sheldon believes it, so Sheldon says that he could be dreaming, and then Leonard slaps Sheldon! Finally! And Sheldon shouts that they won the Nobel Prize, and all four make an excited embrace. Sheldon and Amy discuss winning as Sheldon gets congratulatory texts from Meemaw, his mother, Missy, Georgie, and both of his brother's ex-wives. Then Amy gets a text from CVS Pharmacy and from her father, who also sends one to Sheldon. Sheldon tells Amy that their names will be linked forever. Amy reminds him that they are already married. Sheldon explains that that is just a piece of paper and that the Nobel Prize is a piece of paper and a medal. Again, they feel their lives will never be the same. However, Sheldon said that they'll still go to work and put in their pants in one leg at a time. He is proven wrong when a large group of reporters are waiting for them outside of the building. Sheldon is spooked and runs away. Amy is asked whether Dr. Cooper is returning. She replies no and asks for the next question. And then at the Caltech cafeteria, the guys are asking Leonard about how he struck Sheldon. President Siebert joins them, and he wants their friends to describe the new superstars of physics as quirky. Howard jokes that they shouldn't call them Mr. and Mrs. Wackadoodle. The president calls him a bitter and envious little man. Amy and Sheldon enter the cafeteria and are applauded, though Sheldon quickly leaves, and then President Siebert leads the guys in describing his behavior as quirky. Howard walks by Sheldon's office and finds a reporter knocking on his door. Howard looks in and finds Sheldon hiding behind the desk, shaking his head no, that he doesn't want to see him. Howard tells the reporter Sheldon isn't in and leads him to the cafeteria to talk and give him his perspective on as Sheldon's best friend and to tell the outer space stories. Raj passes by the ladies' room and hears Amy crying. He checks in on her, goes in the ladies' room, and she tells him that she looks so terrible in the photos posted on the internet. She realizes that it is stupid and shallow, but doesn't like looking so frumpy. Raj calls her a beautiful woman, and if she doesn't like it, she can make some changes. New clothes and a new haircut. Amy thinks that sounds expensive, but Raj reminds that she is getting a substantial cash prize with the Nobel. Raj is going to help her, so they head off to Beverly Hills. Howard comes in the kitchen asking about dinner. On her computer, Bernadette asks about the article on Sheldon that talks more about him instead of his best friend, Sheldon. Howard reacts that Leonard was more of a Sheldon's monkey butler rather than his best friend. The reporter also wanted Howard to put him in touch with Amy's best friend. Bernadette says that is Penny. Howard adds that it doesn't have to be, as they smile at each other. Sheldon and Leonard are having tea together as Sheldon laments all the changes that make him feel, uncomfortable, and from reality. What kind of tea goes with that mood? Leonard suggests Earl Grey tea, but they don't have any. Sheldon has wanted a Nobel Prize all of his life, but never really thought about the consequences. Raj comes in wanting to show Penny his latest creation, the new and improved Dr. Amy Farrah Fowler Cooper. In comes Amy in a classy sleeveless dress and coat, wearing larger glasses and a shorter styled haircut, looking very happy. Leonard thinks that she looks amazing, but Sheldon prefers the old Amy. Amy looks disappointed as Sheldon runs out with Leonard following. Out in the hallway, Leonard calls him rude. Sheldon explains that Amy was the one thing he could always count on that didn't change. Sheldon claims that is the last straw as the elevator door opens and Penny walks out. Can you believe it? They finally fixed the elevator. Sheldon calls it a nightmare and runs down the stairs. In the lobby, he is surprised as he finds Penny waiting for him. She took the elevator down and says it is really fast. Sheldon has to be alone but doesn't mind Penny providing transportation. Amy says that she should have seen this coming and that she should have changed her hair slowly over 10 years. Also, she realizes she has had a big day and should be able to enjoy it without worrying about how it affects Sheldon. Penny is having a drink at the Cheesecake Factory with Sheldon, who is complaining about all the changes, which include Amy. Penny is taking a drink every time Sheldon uses the word change. Penny then tells him that he's the only person in the world who could win a Nobel Prize and still be upset about it. She reminds him how much she has changed, having friends, being married, living in a new apartment, wearing a baseball cap, and having had sex almost as many times as Sheldon has, or as Penny has fingers. Actually, he's had it 2 more times than that number. Penny adds that she used to be the bartender. Sheldon comments that there is someone new that also gets his drinks wrong. Sheldon adds that Penny is also married with an successful career and she no longer dresses like she's trying to attract sailors on the wharf. Penny concludes that since changes keep occurring, then the fact that things change is a constant. Sheldon interrupts that as that is the inevitability of change might be a universal constant. Then on the television, they see Howard and Bernadette talking about the Coopers, and she is claiming to be Amy's best friend. Penny goes back to drinking. Sheldon then joins her as Howard claims to be his best friend. Amy likes how her hair looks. All of them are going to stop walking on eggshells with Sheldon. Leonard mentions both Sheldon's spot and controlling the thermostat setting as examples. He is always cold, and that is why he always wears hoodies. Then Leonard mentions the DNA model that has been there since Leonard moved in to the apartment, which Sheldon forbid anybody to touch. Amy suggests that he put it in the closet. Leonard agrees, but as he tries to move it, hundreds of balls, the atoms, fall off it. It's suddenly become clear as to why Sheldon wanted no one to touch the model. Penny and Sheldon enter the lobby as Sheldon heads upstairs. Penny asks Sheldon if he wants to try the elevator. Sheldon mentions that it did work when he moved into the building. The repaired elevator is a return to the status quo. Penny just pushes him in the elevator. She smiles, not having to walk up, and Sheldon calls the ride wild. And that's what ends this penultimate episode of The Big Bang Theory. So I really like this episode. This is the second time I've seen the episode, and I'm giving this episode a 10 out of 10. Characters, the episode, I have to go with 2. Sheldon and Penny were great. Everybody's great in this episode, honestly, but Sheldon and Penny. And then, as many of you know, I rate Penny because Penny is the reason why I started watching The Big Bang Theory, and one of the reasons why I continue watching it. I'm going to give Penny a 9.5 out of 10 in this episode. So Those are my thoughts. If you're a fan of The Big Bang Theory and you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash the like button. Come back to the channel for my finale review of The Big Bang Theory. It's going to be coming soon here. One more episode to go. Share the video with a friend. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of The Big Bang Theory. What would you rate it? Who would be your character or characters of the episode? And if you want to do what I do and rate Penny based on how Penny looks in the episode, you can do that as well. You don't have to, though. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. Subscribe to the channel. You're watching the video anyway. I want to reach 100,000 subscribers, so that would greatly help me out. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And you never know where you're going to see on JDev TV.